and we form the LLC. This is very important that it's done correctly. Remember, you are a prohibited party, so you can't do it, and you can't use an LLC that you already have. Now, you get to pick the state, and you pick the LLC name. We usually ask you to send us about 4 because sometimes, they're not always available. And we pay the fees. Now, there are some extra fees for a few states just because, they're so expensive. We search and secure your name of choice, and we file the necessary paperwork with the state, and we pay the fees. Well, your IRA is going to be opening a bank account. It's very important that your LLC is treated as a disregarded entity so that it can receive the tax benefits that we're after. So we get your IRS banking number. It's called an EIN number. It has to be done properly, and so we get that for you. Then the operating agreement and subscription agreement. We've already talked about the operating agreement. These 2 documents are very important documents. They have to be drafted precisely, or the custodian's not going to allow the investment of the IRA into the LLC. So we do that as well. Now, you'll be ready to open up a bank account. And you're going to be 3 documents that you're going to need. The first one is called the Articles of Organization, and that's proof that your LLC has been filed in whatever state that you pick. So you'll give that to the bank officer there, or the person that's opening the account for you, and it will show that the LLC is alive and well. It's kind of like its birth certificate. Then the next thing is, since you're not the owner of the LLC, they're going to say, well, who are you? What authority do you have? And that's when you lay the operating agreement on them, and they'll look and they'll realize that you are authorized to open as many accounts as you want. And this works the same for opening a brokerage account, by the way. And so they'll make a copy of that, and they go, okay, the LLC is legal, and you are authorized to open accounts. Then the next thing they'll want is the EIN number, or the banking number from the IRS, and that allows them to comply with the different laws. So you'll need these 3 documents. You always have to have these 3, whether you're opening an account, a brokerage account, a bank account, or like a title closing. If you're going to buy a piece of real estate, they'll want to know that the LLC buying the real estate is registered. They'll want to know that you have the authority, and they'll want to have the EIN number. So you'll always keep these 3 together. You need to have all 3 of them. Wait till you have all 3. They come from 3 different sources. The EIN will come from us. The articles will arrive in a couple of weeks from the state. Your signed operating agreement will come from the custodian. Put them all in your binder. It's important to understand that this is not an IRA account. It's a business account. So when you open this up, it's a business account. Otherwise, you're going to confuse the person opening the account. They'll try to open up an IRA, and it'll take, hours to get them straightened out until you finally get up to high enough in management that they know what they're talking about. So when you open it up, it is a business account. It is not an IRA account. So let's look at the summary real quick. We've got a new IRA. We've got a new custodian. We've transferred all your different IRAs and old 401ks into one account. The LLC's been formed. The custodian is allowing the investment. You've been named the manager by the operating agreement. You're pre-authorized now to act on behalf of that LLC without contacting the custodian, as long as you stay within the guidelines of the operating agreement. You've opened up an account. You've got your EIN number, and you're ready to move the funds. So the way you move that would be the investment authorization. Here's a copy of it. It's going to be in your binder. It'll all be filled out. You'll just need a signature. You'll need to put in the amount that you want to move, the bank account number, the routing number or ABA number if you want to do a bank wire, or the address if you want them to send you a check. It's going to take about 2 to 3 weeks start to finish. The wild card really is the old custodian. Now if you have everything ready to go and you go open your bank account, you can still fill this out. You fax it to IRA Services, and if your money isn't there yet from the old custodian, if they're dragging their feet, they'll flag your account. It'll tell them that an investment is waiting to be made, and as soon as the funds come in, they'll send that money out within 24 hours. Now let's look at your annual costs real quick. Now remember, we pay all your fees for the setup. Your IRA custodian on an annual basis is going to be only $65 for the IRA, $10 per quarter per asset. But remember, there's only one asset of the IRA. That's the LLC, even though the LLC might have 100 in it. So 4 times 10 is 40, plus 65 is 105 a year total. Your LLC, you're going to have it's called an annual renewal fee, and that goes to the state of the LLC, and it can vary from $25 to $200. So your total costs are going to be, $150 to $300 a year. Now, the initial setup fee, we're going to do the new IRA account, we'll do the transfer, the forming the LLC, the EIN number, the operating and subscription agreement, the investment authorization, pay all your fees for you. You'll pay us one fee. We pay all the other fees because you can't pay them. You can pay out of the IRA or via the credit card, and we give you 1 year email and phone advice. So the pricing, just at the end of the video, go to the Walmart greeter picture. Go to checkbookira.com and click on the Walmart greeter picture. And by the way, he wasn't a client. He didn't have a checkbook IRA, so he's working down at Walmart. It takes you to the latest page, and you'll be ready to go. I want to close with a quote from a client. He said, "I can't thank you enough. 2 years ago, my brother and I were going to get set up at the same time, but his broker talked him out of it. We both had $100,000. I moved mine to a checkbook IRA with your assistance. Now, 2 years later, he told me his IRA was still in the market and worth about $48,000. Well, I have managed to grow mine to over $200,000 by having control to quickly invest in what I know and understand. Needless to say, I am grateful and blessed I came across you folks in this wonderful tool. Thank you again." Well, that's it. No hard sell. If it will work for you, then you will recognize it and move forward, and we'll be glad to help you. So, good hunting. Thanks for watching from the staff at Checkbook IRA.